All right, we're going to keep things moving here on Radio Boss. We're joined by a young lady, as a matter of fact, who is part of the Slip and Slide record family. As a matter of fact, her newest project, Lonely at Christmas, although Christmas has passed, is available now. She's done a lot of big things for several years here. She's based in Miami. I think we're going to ask her about a little bit of Miami sports a little bit later on in the program, especially that the Dolphins are doing so well. She is singer Teenearr. She joins us here on Radio Boss. What's going on, Teenearr?
Nothing much. I'm doing good. How are you?
Doing so good. I appreciate your time. So let me start here. How was Christmas for you?
Christmas is honestly so much fun. This year, I really got to spend a whole bunch of time with family and just enjoy and stay in the moment, get off social media, and I enjoyed every second of it. How was yours?
Thank you for asking. It was the same thing. I'm not on social media like that much, although I know you are. You posted like a couple of days ago, right? So I know and you have to be like in really in the industry we're in, generally speaking, entertainment, but you specifically. But no, was just able to enjoy time, to your point, with family, have decompressed for the last couple of days. I mean, look, before we even got this thing started, like I didn't even have the board on. Like I couldn't hear anybody. I didn't have the board on. You know what I mean? So like, that just shows you what I've been doing the last couple of days.
Relaxing, and that's okay.
So let me start here. So Christmas was great. Lonely at Christmas, of course, it is with Ronnie V. Excellent video. And I want to talk about the progression of your career, but I want to ask you specifically about Lonely at Christmas, what went into that and the vibe associated with that.
Lonely at Christmas honestly came about. Originally, we were thinking about just doing a holiday cover, and the record, What Would the Lonely Do, was the record we were going in to record. And as we were in there and just like switching things around with like the production of it, we started vibing and we were like, why not just switch it up and actually make this like a remix in itself, or like a remake of What Would the Lonely Do, but make it our generation and make it 2023, now 2024 coming up. Just, fit the vibe of our generation and what we go through. And I feel like me and Ronnie were able to do that. The vibes were there and we got to communicate and just create really well in the room. And that's how it came up.
I've watched your career. Like I'm a watcher. I love watching videos, even though on TV. Like I know nowadays everybody watches videos on YouTube. Like I'm a watcher, like BET Her and Fuse and all of these different channels. So from Need Your Love to Free, I thought Free was absolutely, to me, you took it seemed like another progression. Free was maybe a couple of years ago to now Lonely at Christmas. Can you kind of just talk about how your career has progressed?
Well, I started at a really, really young age. And when I came in, I really came in with just, I had a big family around me. Slip and Slide Records truly is like a family. I kind of grew up in it, and just everyone around me was very like supportive and just trying to be there to help me through it all. So I really had a lot of people giving me direction at the beginning of my career. And just as I've grown, I'm really just figuring out who I am and like what I want to express and what I want to show, and just really just figuring myself out and growing up as a grown woman. And I feel like that progression is being shown through my music, and I'm really happy I get to show that and express that, and people see the growth in my music because it means a lot to me, growing up.
Yes. So, yeah. No doubt. Free. Can you speak specifically to Free? I guess that's been a couple of years now, but that was very powerful and much different than anything you had done to that.
Yeah, that record, honestly, when I first worked on that record in the studio, it was originally a record that stemmed from a place of, it was originally Girl Be Free. And for me, that was a record that I was coming from a place, I just felt bound in like, love, life, relationships, whatever. And during that time, there was a lot going on in 2020. We were stuck in the house. There was all the police brutality things coming up. And like, I felt like, why not put out a record that can be, a positive message, or like a warm hug, or, something that just makes people feel like powerful during that time. So we switched up the words, and I was happy I was able to do that, because for me, I felt like everyone needed that in that moment because it was too much negativity going on, and we needed that force of just like power, feeling, taking our power back and just feeling powerful within ourselves and knowing that like all this stuff, we can't let that hold us back. We can't let that keep us bound. Just keep being great. Keep the greatness going. And I really wanted that song to just be that representation in that moment. And I feel like it was. I was really happy to be able to put that out and give that to people.
Yeah, no doubt. And that was 3 years ago. And that again was as you were starting to progress and
Mhm.
climb in this business. So speak to the response. I mean, I think the response to this song was a tremendous response, particularly for such a young artist as yourself.
Yeah, and like I said, when I did put it out, I wanted to be that message and that positive message and give people just the feeling of power back. But I wasn't expecting the response that I got. And for me, I feel like that's my goal at the end of the day. As an artist, I want people to be able to connect to my songs and be able to say, like, this helped them get through whatever it is they were going through, or just like a certain line in the song made them feel a certain way. And for me, that's my ultimate goal at the end of the day. I want people to be able to connect with me through my music, and hearing that my music can just like get them through certain phases of their lives, that truly makes me so happy.
Singer Teenearr joins us here on Radio Boss. You know, one of the terms I don't like, but I've even read this about you when people say, well, you're up and coming, right? Like, okay, maybe, and you've been doing this for quite some time, but to me, you're here, right? Like it's not an up and as far as I'm concerned, it's not an up and coming thing. Maybe more people know about you as you progress. It's not an up and coming thing. That's just how I feel about it. You know,
Yeah.
sort of your thoughts. You've been doing this quite some time, but you are starting to get more recognition as time goes on.
Yeah. And I feel like that I'm okay with that. I'm not too mad at it. And I know at the end of the day, once I do get that moment for myself, people will be able to look back. And like you said, you've seen me like growing through this. And I'm okay with people being able to see, like, oh, wait, she started this a few years ago. Because a lot of people in our generation right now, we have the mindset of instant, like everything happens like the next day, you're going to wake up and everything's going to be perfect. And that's just not the truth. And we need to learn to accept that, like, greatness does take time. You can't look at the next person and think that happened overnight, because it doesn't happen overnight. You don't know all the work that they're putting in, for the years that they're putting in, the hours they've spent on there certain things. Like, it takes time. And I feel like that's the beauty in like everyone's story. Just seeing that they did a lot to get here. It's not something that just was like a switch or like a snap of a finger. Like, you have to actually put work behind the faith, because I'm really big on faith too. There's so much that I know I am meant to accomplish, and it's not going to happen if I don't put work behind it. And I feel like we need to keep that in our minds constantly.
Very well said. Need Your Love. Like that's when I first was introduced to you via video. I don't know. Was that like your first video? And can you kind of was that more of a college setting type? It was like a really cool video, actually. Was that more of a college type of vibe?
That video was honestly stemmed from, I'm sure you watched Love and Basketball.
Yes, of course. Yes.
Yeah. So that video, it wasn't necessarily college, but I guess you can say it was a school setting. But there are a lot of moments and scenes that I love and basketball that I was able to pull from that movie in itself, because I felt like that song, and it just kind of feels nostalgic in a way. And I wanted people to watch the video and also feel that as well, and maybe capture a scene or like see a scene that they thought like, oh wait, I feel like I've seen that before, but they probably may have not noticed where it came from until you actually talk about it and like go through the video. But that was honestly one of my favorite videos to ever shoot.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Teenearr joins us here on the program. I want to talk with you about being on Slip and Slide Records, because when you think about Slip and Slide Records, it's Trick Daddy, it's Trina, Rick Ross, Plies, all of these artists of a record label that is very well known, right? So, what does it mean to you to be part of the Slip and Slide Records family?
Honestly, I love it, and I appreciate I appreciate every moment of it because, like I said, it's felt like a family from the beginning. Everyone in there has been super supportive and have been like behind me every step of the way. And who any new artists coming into a situation with people like Trina, Trick, Rick Ross, like having those people behind you and like have your back, who can ask for anything better? Like it's felt like home from the beginning.
Is that where you started? Did you like start on Slip and Slide Records?
Yes, that's the only label I've been on, Slip
Yeah.
and Slide Records from the beginning.
So tell me what that means, because in this industry that generally doesn't happen. You kind of really climb and then you
Mhm.
get a record deal. But again, Slip and Slide Records is, and you may have a deal with a label that is not as well known. Slip and Slide Records is very well known.
Yeah, it's especially in Miami, being born and raised here, like iconic to be on this label for sure. So, like I said, I appreciate every moment from the beginning. And originally coming in, I wasn't necessarily signed to the label. I was doing a lot of demos. They had me recording, like demos are when like people are recording songs for other artists to like send them out and stuff. So I was just in the studio recording demos for hours and hours and days. And then finally I was working with a specific producer named Anthony Frank. And he saw that I was just like, okay, I'm over this. I want to go home. He saw that I was having one of those moments and he was like, Teenearr, let's write something. And he pulled up a beat and we got to sit there and we wrote, which ended up becoming my first single, Friday Night, featuring Sage the Gemini.
Oh,
And
wow.
man, it was like, here we go.
And then it was all from there.
Yeah.
So speak to that a little bit. I mean, maybe the frustration. Were you ready to kind of, I don't know, throw in the towel a bit, if you will?
I won't say throw in the towel. It's more just like when you're a creative person and you're just sitting there doing something that's like, I love recording, but if I know it's not my work and it's not something that I'm going to be putting out, it's like, okay, this is cool. Next, what's next? What's next? And it was kind of just like hours of doing that. Eventually, it's like, okay, what am I going to do next? I want to go home, but never throw in the towel. I love recording, love shooting videos. I genuinely love working. So it was just a moment where he was just like, okay, Teenearr is giving me the side eye. Let's do something else. And I'm happy he noticed that. And we were able to create something because we didn't know Friday Night was going to come out of that. And it did. And everyone in the office ended up loving it. And it became my first single.
Singer, recording artist Teenearr joins us here on the program. So you were part of what, Siesta Key? Like I've never watched Siesta Key. I've only seen like promos for it on like MTV or VH1 or what have you, but I've never seen it. What was it like? First of all, what is it about? Sorry, I haven't seen it. I'm
No,
sorry.
you're good.
Like I've kept up with you, but not I just haven't seen it. I'm sorry. And what is it, what is it about, and what was it like to be part of that?
Okay, well, Siesta Key is a show that started in Siesta Key. It's another part in Florida, and it's just a group of like teenagers at the time, random, just a reality show about their lives. They decided to move to Miami, and in that moment, me and one of the cast members, his name is Brandon Gomes, he reached out to me about us working on music together, and it kind of just wrapped me into the story, and I ended up being on the cast. And for like a whole summer, I just spent the whole time with them, and it was a great experience. Completely different. Reality TV is a special game. Completely different, but I had fun. I enjoyed it, and I'm happy I got to experience that because I got a taste of what that was. And like, do I want to do that again? I don't know, but it was fun. I enjoyed it, and I was happy I did it because it introduced me to a whole nother audience, and that I really appreciated because it's always good to be to be integrated into different audiences, different people, and it was a cool experience. It was.
Well, let me ask, would you, I've seen it a few times. Love and Hip Hop Miami. Is that something, would you do that?
I don't really know if Love and Hip Hop is for me.
It's a little different. That's definitely a little different than how you explain it, Siesta Key.
It's all drama. I will say that both shows are drama, but that's a different type of drama for me. I don't know. I don't know about that one.
Yeah, that may
That's a lot. I
that
don't
is
think that's just my personality.
right. No, yes, I definitely would agree with that. So no, I think let's go back to faith. I like what you were saying because on your Instagram, for those that don't know, you have Jesus listed, right? So speak to really your faith and how it's pulled you throughout really the course of your life.
Um, I feel like I have a really strong relationship with God. I'm not truly like the most religious person in the world because I feel like religion is like something that is just a different ball game. But I'm a very spiritual person, and I know I have a strong relationship with Jesus, my creator, God. And I know that, especially in this industry, for me personally, there's a lot of things that can pull you and call you in different directions. And if you don't have something to stand on, you will literally be drowned in this industry. So I feel like that's been my standing point. That's been my grounding point. And if I did not have that relationship with God, I really don't know where I would be now because I'm coming into like 6, 7 years being in this industry. And it's like there's been a lot of situations that I could have put myself in, but because I had my grounding point, I knew it wasn't for me. And faith, like I could have given up years ago if I really wanted to, but I truly believe that there's a purpose behind everything that I'm doing. And I want to be in this industry as a light and to fully fulfill my purpose. I can't say that I 100% know everything that God wants me to do in this industry, but I know that it's something great and it's going to be great. And that's something that I just wholeheartedly believe in and have faith in and put work behind.
Very well said. A couple of more thoughts, Teenearr. We appreciate the time. What were some of your influences? I mean, you were in Miami. Like Miami, it was really popping sort of at one time. Still is, but
Yeah.
like coming up, who were some of your influences?
Honestly, I listen to like everyone. I love Mariah Carey, Whitney Houston, Aaliyah, Britney Spears. Britney Spears was my first concert ever.
Okay.
I love Britney Spears. Those are like the main people, even to this day, I will turn my phone on and listen to some Britney Spears. But the biggest influence I feel like would kind of be Mariah. Just everything about her career and her growth. I love that. But music wise, but as like work wise, Beyonce and Michael Jackson, just seeing them start at a young age and like everything they created throughout their career and like the brand that they built for themselves, that's my ultimate goal at the end of the day. Music is the start, but there's just so many things that I can do with it. And that's the goal. And I love everything they've done and created.
Yeah. No, that's well said. So is there an forthcoming album in 2024?
There is a project coming, and I'm super excited because I've never put out a project before. And it's my little baby right now. I've been working on it for a minute, so I'm ready for everyone to hear it.
Okay. And can you give us I don't know, a sneak peek? What can we expect from it, maybe? If you can share.
What I can say is I feel like this is the first true introduction of Teenearr. I'll say that. That's
okay.
right.
And touring, I don't know, have you toured? Will you be touring in 2024?
We will see. I have done like little tours in the past, like school tours and stuff like that, but there's nothing that I could say right now that is solidified, but you will see me performing a lot next year for sure.
Okay. So in your Instagram post, you were wearing, I think you were at a Dolphins game. As a matter of fact, the Dolphins are playing some very good. I'm assuming
you're
you're right. Do you are you an intense watcher of the Dolphins?
I'm not gonna lie, I'm not an intense watcher, but like that's home team. So when I do have a chance to go to the game or watch the game, I'm all in. because I gotta rep my home team. They've been a little weird over the last few years. It's like, come on, y'all. Like, but this year they've been on it. So I'm like, I'm going to the Dolphins game. I'm gonna watch the Dolphins game because that makes me happy. It's Miami.
Yeah, no doubt. What about the Heat? Are you a Heat fan?
I'm not that much of a basketball fan. I
Okay.
want to get into it though. I need to. It's literally right down the street. Why am I not going to the games? But I want to get more into sports because they're so much fun, especially football games. I didn't realize they were that much fun until this year.
Okay, so you didn't really play sports kind of coming up.
Oh no, I played sports.
Oh,
I played basketball, I played volleyball, and I ran track. And
wow.
like junior high, yeah. I was really big into sports when I was younger. It wasn't until high school that I was like, okay, time to get serious. What do you want to do?
Oh, so you stopped. So were you really good when you were younger? Because maybe like if you do it well in high school, you can parlay it into like a college scholarship or something.
Right. When I was younger, basketball was something I was really, really good at. They had like I was playing in the varsity team in junior high. Like I used to really play basketball like that. But I stopped because I was really into like musical theater and stuff. That was really where my heart was. So it was kind of like pick what you really want to go after. You know, they make you freak out once you're getting into high school. It's like life is hitting you. What do you want to do?
Right.
And I decided to go the creative route. But yeah, I used to be a tomboy, sports all day long.
Okay. And no, I'm sorry. Hurricanes. Are you into the like my at one time like the Hurricanes ruled Miami? Not so much now, but still. I mean, they're kind of coming back.
I'm not even gonna lie, I haven't paid attention much to them. Not gonna cap on that at all.
No doubt. All right. Well, look, check out Teenearr. She's got some absolutely phenomenal music. As you heard, she has a forthcoming project in 2024 that she's super excited about. In the meantime, you can follow her on all social media. Teenearr joining us here on Radio Boss. Teenearr, we really appreciate the time. Happy New Year and continued success to you in 2020.
Thank you so much and Happy New Year to you. Can't wait to hear our interview, and I'm really grateful for you having me today.
Absolutely.